Unpopular opinion. White people love dogs so much because deep down they miss owning people from the 1800s. They love the owner and master dynamic, desperate for something to control. Okay, much like Monkey D. Luffy and Mr. Fantastic, that is one heck of a stretch.
Stop it. Get some help.
Hello everybody and welcome back to another video for the day. We're going back in our /Insane People Facebook, so if you guys would like to be absolutely amazing, show your support and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. All of you people on this chat telling me to leave the chat, I hope it's your child riding illegally who gets hit on a mini bike. Bus, cars, and trucks speed down this driveway every day. These are off-road mini bikes, not licensed mopeds or electric bikes. Troll someone who cares about your opinion. Well, it seems like you care enough to make a frickin' post about it. So this was in regards to children riding mini bikes and, little dirt bikes around the neighborhood. What do you want to bet that the kids were actually taking more precautions about not getting hit by cars than the person riding this actually would? Because, whenever I'm driving around my neighborhood, the people that are more in the road than not on the road are the people that are older, like the baby boomer generation, just like this person would be. Is Statue of Liberty actually Satan? Ah yes, it's a satanic tactic from the French. We were given that a few hundred years ago as a sleeper agent. It is secretly a Trojan horse housing say. Don't nobody be taking me seriously. I know for a fact some of you who happen to still watch me with the tinfoil hats on, I am talking out my butt. Just in case some of you actually care about voting for policy this November, instead of who you would most likely be besties with, here's a step-by-step summary of what would actually happen if Kamala Harris is elected and follows through with her plan to reduce food inflation. 1. The government announces that grocery retailers aren't allowed to raise prices. 2. Grocery stores, which operate on a 1.1 to 2% net margins, can't survive if their suppliers raise prices. So the government announced that food producers, Kraft, Heinz, Conagra, Tyson's, Hormel, etc. also aren't allowed to raise prices. 3. Not all grocery stores are created equal. Stores in lower income areas make less money than those in higher income areas, as the former disproportionately sell lower margin prepackaged foods, center of the store, instead of higher margin fresh products like meat at the perimeter of the store. Because stores in lower income areas aren't able to cover overhead. Remember, even if their wholesale costs are fixed, their labor, utilities, insurance, and other operating expenses aren't fixed yet. Grocery chains start to shut them down. Food deserts in rural areas and in low-income urban areas alike become worse. 4. Meanwhile, margins for food producers are also quickly eroding. Their primary costs, ingredients, energy, and labor, aren't fixed, and their shrinking gross profits leave less cash flow available to cover overhead, maintain facilities, and reinvest in additional production capacity. 5. Grocery chains, which have finite shelf space, they start to repurpose their stores, those they didn't have to shut down, I should say, to sell more non-price controlled items. 6. Food producers stop making products with lower margins. Grocery chains start competing with each other to secure inventory, and since they can't compete by offering stronger prices, remember, producers aren't allowed to raise prices here, and even if they could, grocery chains no longer have the gross profit to bear price increases. They compete on things like payment terms. 7. Small grocery chains start to shut down entirely, or get sold to larger chains like Kroger. In addition to not being able to cover fixed costs, a major reason for this is because they can no longer reliably secure delivery of product, due to producers prioritizing sales to larger customers, which are able to leverage their stronger balance sheets to offer superior payment terms. That's been happening for a while, dude. That's called corporate greed. 8. Put smaller food producers, which typically sell via distributors rather than directly to grocery chains, start to go out of business because these producers have an additional step of their value chains, and because they have lower volumes over which to spread their fixed cost. Their cost structure is inherently disadvantaged compared to major food producers. When grocery stores aren't able to raise prices, cutting product cost becomes all the more important, and prioritizing purchases from smaller producers is an easy way to do so. 9. As supply chains break down, lines start to form outside of grocery stores every morning. Cities assign police officers to patrol store parking lots, and food producers draft contingency plans to assign armed escorts to delivery trucks. 10. The federal government announces a program to issue block grants for states to purchase and operate shuttered grocery stores. The USDA also seizes closed down production facilities. 11. The government announces that prices for all key food costs, corn, wheat, cattle, energy, etc., are also now fixed to stop profiteers from gouging the now government-operated food industry. 12. Shockingly, the government struggles to operate one of the most complex industries on the planet. The entire food supply chain starts imploding. And 13. Communism, mass starvation, etc. quickly ensue. I'm not sure why, but those last couple of bits honestly remind me of the fact that my area that I happen to live in has that kind of government regulation, but it's more of a state and county government regulation on our liquor stores. Like, you have to actually go out of the county in order to go to a liquor store that is not designated as this county liquor store. Like, no joke, it's government regulated. And yeah, those prices do go up over time because, you know, government inflation gonna happen, so that's kind of something that is absolute. Prices of stuff on shelves are not suddenly going to lock in because the person in office happens to change. Meanwhile, they're trying to push us all to plastic. Plastic works well when Rogers gets shut down. Pretty sure there were a couple of days where people couldn't purchase anything with their cards, and somehow they trust plastic more than cash. A cashless Canada. This is the global agenda. They want us all to have digital ID and a central bank digital currency. It will be tied to a social credit score and climate change. If you have too much red meat or something, they deem wrong that it can prevent you purchasing said items. It will be for complete control over each and every one of us. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, but it's exactly what they are pushing us towards. The future doesn't look so bright anymore. Sadly, many people are blissfully unaware of what's happening.
Oh, I don't know if I would feel that bad about being forced to eat human flesh.
Excuse me, what?
Y'all know for a fact this lady ain't gonna be seasoning anything.
All of the women with high body counts have fat rolls. Research has made it very clear that obesity is caused by STDs. All of these women will eventually switch out their S-addiction with a cookie jar addiction. Ah yes, don't you know obesity is transmitted when you do the hoinky boinky? This person simply still thinks that Turning Red is the best Pixar movie ever. He's simply wrong on another level, as evidenced by this criticism video. This video criticized that this movie is pushing some horrible message for little kids to replicate. It encourages young children and also encourages disobedience towards their parents. Yuck! And yet this twerk-loving redacted thinks that this is the best animated Pixar movie ever made in theaters. Me, please. I simply don't think so, since this animated movie is probably perhaps the worst Disney Pixar animated movie ever made. And earlier Pixar movies are way better than this disgusting, redacted garbage. I saw Turning Red, and while it wasn't exactly my favorite of all-time movie, it wasn't the worst of the Pixar movies by far. I would place a solid one in the middle. There were definitely parts shown of like how the parents can be detached from what the kids like, and you know, kids going through puberty, that was also a bit of a subplot too. Plus also the movie takes place during the 90s, which very much alluded to the boy band kind of thing with the four-town band, because like for the 90s kids, we grew up with like Backstreet Boys and NSYNC, but I do like how at the end of the movie the family really does come all together to help give support, trying to, you know, get everything to calm down regarding the mom. By the way, spoiler alert, mom's a bit of a kaiju. The movie's been out for a long enough time, so hopefully nobody really gets upset by knowing that now. I think when it comes to like the good Pixar movies, the best ones that I've definitely seen, I loved Inside Out. I'm excited to see Inside Out 2, because I love how that movie replicates mental struggles and everything with your emotions. Like, they do their research when they do movies like that. I also loved Up. There was Ratatouille. Those were a bunch of movies that came out within the past 10 to 15 years that were absolutely amazing. So it's not just that the old Pixar movies were good. They still make really good movies. I don't care if my man used to be your first love. I don't care if y'all had baby. I don't care if he was your first. I don't care if he was your ex. I literally do not care. Once he's mine, he's mine. Please back up. People be trying to reminisce with your boo like they really mattered. 'Cause if y'all was like that, y'all would be together now, and y'all ain't. He with the big dog now. Get a new one. Still, I will always find it weird whenever somebody says that they don't care, but they say it in a way that very much makes it seem like they care the most out of the entire lot of people around them. I don't give a rat's patootie. Yeah, but then proceeds to write a whole frickin' novel about why they don't give a rat's patootie. But with that, that is going to have to be it with the video. If you guys would love to be absolutely amazing, show your support, and see more videos like this one in the near future, be sure to hit that like button, leave a comment down below to start up them wholesome internet discussions, and if you guys have not already, subscribe to the channel and turn on them notifications. I'll be sure to see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and bye-bye!